Yo, how's it going, everybody? It's Macklin Gaming. We had the biggest Nintendo Direct of the year this year for the Switch 2 games. There were some Switch 1 games there as well, obviously, but this was an exciting Direct for any fan of Nintendo. Now, they opened the Direct with Shigeru Miyamoto coming out and doing a whole 40th anniversary Mario Direct for like 15 minutes. So he talked about the new movie that's coming out, the second Mario Bros. Movie, Super Mario Bros. Galaxy movie, or something like that. So this is based off of Super Mario Galaxy, which was one of the best 3D Mario games ever made. Some people think it is the best or it's their favorite. And they're also bringing back a bundle of Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 to the Switch, which means it'll run on Switch 2. However, the pricings of these are very concerning, and there were some paid DLC pricings later in this Direct that were definitely upsetting people. So I will address that at the end, but let's have fun. Let's talk about the hype and all the games that were announced at this Direct. So after Miyamoto talked about the movie, they announced Mario Tennis Fever. This is a brand new Mario Tennis installment into the franchise, and I really thought they'd honestly do a Mario Baseball or a different sport, because we had Mario Tennis Aces, but these really sell, I guess. They do tennis and golf, right? When they could be doing they do soccer, but that was a bust, unfortunately. They could do baseball, football, let's go, NFL, let's go. I want Donkey Kong to just lay out, Mario or Toad. Toad's running with the ball, just gets blasted by a DK. That'd be crazy. But anyways, if you're a fan of tennis, this game does look great on the Switch 2 graphics. Then they announced Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. So it's getting like a new world and lots more co-op features. I loved Super Mario Bros. Wonder as a 2D side-scrolling Mario game, like a classic Mario game, but modernized. It was very fun and very pleasing to the eye. Great colors, eye candy game. So depending on that Switch 2 edition, I might upgrade, but I have a feeling it'll be in that category with these kind of upsetting, like $20 expensive upgrades, but that'll be for the end of the video. Then they announced a new Yoshi game, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. I've never played really all the big Yoshi games except for like Yoshi's Island, or no, Yoshi's Story. That was on the 64. That was a classic. I can still hear the music because they put it in Smash for all those years. And that was the end of the Mario Direct for 15 minutes there. And then we entered the 45-minute Nintendo Direct. Here we go, baby. They came out with some little like headliners to start. Stormlancers, Dinkum, Papukam, and Tomodachi Life, which they showed off. Really goofy, like funny humor from Nintendo that I wouldn't even expect. I don't know if I'm gonna buy this game, but I'm gonna watch people like play it and do goofy stuff in it. You're pretty much like playing God in this community. It's like Sims, but just weirder in Nintendo version. So with like little characters that look like Mii's. Then they announced a Mortal Kombat, like all the games collection. After that was Final Fantasy VII Remake to the Switch 2, January 26th. Linked, Banner or the Spark. And then finally, a huge game release announcement. Hades 2 coming out this month in a few weeks. Just a couple of weeks. September 25th for Hades 2. Now this game's been out on early access for over a year, but I have held off to play it because I played Hades 1 last year and it was amazing. I have a little video on that. I really enjoyed it. So this year, I've held off on playing Hades 2. I want that full 1.0 release, and it's coming this September 25th. I'm psyched. Kirby Air Riders is shown again, and Sakurai just yapped for 40 minutes at his own Direct, and now they're gonna do another Direct. Sakurai's like, yeah, I don't think I talked long enough in the last Direct, so let's keep going. I don't know how long it's gonna go for, but Sakurai really needs to talk more about Kirby Air Riders, so I don't know if you guys are out there looking forward to this game. I'm not going to buy it, but I do love Sakurai, so we'll see. Next up was Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. This is playing as Zelda from Tears of the Kingdom story, and you're like back in time with the Zonai friends that you made, and you can battle like hordes of enemies. I honestly have not played the Hyrule Warriors games, but I've seen all about them, and this will actually act as like story DLC to Tears of the Kingdom, not directly tied to the game Tears of the Kingdom. This is its own game, but it does continue the story of Tears of the Kingdom. So, or it shows a flashback of it, however you want to think about it. I've lost track in my head of how that game works with the time travel, but that looks very interesting if you want to see more about what Zelda was doing during the time period of Tears of the Kingdom. This is big for boomers all around the world. They showed Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. I'm just kidding. I love JRPGs, and I do like Dragon Quest. I've never beaten one, but I've played 11 on the Switch. I really liked it. So Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, maybe I'll check that out. Definitely up my alley, but we'll see. Nintendo Switch Online expansion adds Virtual Boy. This was unbelievable. They actually made a new version of the Virtual Boy to put your Switch or Switch 2 into, and you can look into this clunky looking VR headset from like the 80s or the 90s when Nintendo was way ahead of the game trying this out. You see like red and black screen. It's pretty awful, but for some reason people look back fondly. They love the Virtual Boy. I don't think I will buy this, but it does look funny, and I love that Nintendo's doing weird stuff like this and bringing back their old consoles actually and their old hardware and games. So will I play it? Probably not, but I do like it. I support this Virtual Boy idea. Next up, Fatal Frame 2 Remake. If you're excited about spooky season, you might want to check this one out. I actually am not sure if this comes out in time to play it this Halloween, but Fatal Frame 2 looks pretty cool. Now I'm gonna breeze through a lot of these until I get to the ones that I was really psyched for. There was One Piece shown, Overcooked 2, Human Fall Flat, Power Wash Simulator 2. I don't know who bought the first one. Suika Game Planet, and then Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Wow, what a showing. They showed Samus on a motorcycle riding through this really barren looking desert, fighting an enemy on the motorcycle. And then they cut to another scene and she was not in the desert, still riding the motorcycle on some more alien looking planet. So this looks like the motorcycle feature is going to be going throughout this game. It's not going to be like a one-time level kind of playthrough. You're going to be using this motorcycle throughout. It might be a pivotal part of the game is what I'm saying here. So Samus looked badass with her like red suit on, and then they showed some amiibos off after that. You can buy the ones with her on the bike and one in her like classic orange suit, and it looks like you can get the villain in the amiibo as well. But Prime 4, I'm so excited for that. However, this trailer with the bike did not look great, honestly. This is where it truly looked like a Nintendo Switch 1 game, which it is, and that's the thing people have to remember. Prime 4, we've been waiting forever for this. This is a long overdue Switch 1 game. This is not like a made for Switch 2 game, okay? So you're gonna see those kind of lower quality textures and Switch 1 assets, but you're gonna get a nice resolution and frame rate on the Switch 2. But it doesn't look to me after this trailer like a next gen game. It's just a really late, Switch 1 game. So I'm still excited though, but it definitely brought me back to reality seeing that trailer. Next up was Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC Shadow dropped, baby. And I got that day one and I started playing it. I like it a lot. It was $20 though, and that is part of the problem here I'm gonna get to very shortly. But DK Bonanza, probably my game of the year so far. Gotta play the DLC, really loved it. Next up, Pokemon Pokopia. This was really weird. In this game, there's a Ditto who is like sad and lonely, and he wants to turn himself into a human just to have like other Pokemon friends. It's essentially you playing Animal Crossing in a Pokemon world and building up a little town and to like befriend other Pokemon. You can learn moves that help you just kind of like cut the grass or like create grass or some crazy, I don't know. The Ditto human just looked so demented. I was distracted by that the whole time. And he can like elongate its arms and make its arms look all gooey and like lanky and just crazy, man. I was like, what is this Pokemon Pokopia? So I don't even know how to explain it. It was crazy, but it was like Pokemon Animal Crossing and a weird demented human Ditto. So there you go. Then they got to Pokemon Legends ZA. This looks great. Again, like Prime 4, it's a Switch 1 game that's gonna like run a little bit better on the Switch 2. But this is a Switch 1 game, so don't expect the next-gen Pokemon look here, except I'm looking at a lot of new gameplay elements from ZA that look way different from Legends Arceus, And also they showed off like 5 new Mega Evolutions, which looks so badass. Mega Malamar, there was Mega Ampharos, there's also Mega Raichu, among others. Like, I am very excited to play this game. Do I think it's going to be the best Pokemon game ever? No, but I think it will be hopefully an improvement on the last few games that have come out. Then they showed Danganronpa 2, a visual novel like mystery game, I believe. Like nice anime art style and the characters. Looks cool. Dynasty Warriors Origins, that game came out earlier this year, I think, and it's coming to the Switch too. Monster Hunter Stories 3. That actually looks like a great little RPG. I think people who've never played Monster Hunter, or if you're a fan of like Pokemon, you want to get into something a little different, Monster Hunter Stories 3 might be for you. It looks like a nice expanded world and story from the second game, which I played a little bit of, but I didn't beat it. It's not as intimidating as playing like Monster Hunter Wilds or Monster Hunter Worlds, but it is a nice little RPG with some cel-shaded graphics. So I think that game looks actually pretty good. Then they went through a few more highlights before the end. 2 Point Museum, Disgaea 7 Complete Edition, EA Sports FC, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD Remake, Virtua Fighter 5, Lego Voyagers, Little Nightmares 3, Persona 3 Reload. Love that game. All those coming to the Switch and Switch 2. And the final game shown at the Direct was Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. This looks very interesting as a strategy JRPG. I've played Three Houses and Engage, and it looks like more of the same. They're going for a different aesthetic from Engage, which had like much more bright colors, I feel like, where Three Houses was a little more darker, a little bit more Persona-esque. This one looks also a little darker, like medieval, but they're not going for those bright colors anymore. Fortune's Weave, I'm not sure too much about the gameplay elements yet, but it does look like another big time Fire Emblem game. And if you are a fan of Fire Emblem or strategy RPGs, this game will definitely be for you. So that brings us to the end of the Direct, which I really loved. Honestly, you can't say that was a bad Direct. There's so many great games in there. However, there's a big elephant in the room I want to address, and that is all the pricings of Nintendo's DLC, or even specifically the Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 bundle. So that bundle is going to release at $70 for Galaxy and Galaxy 2. And if you want to buy each one digitally separate, which you can do on the eShop, which I'm just going to buy Galaxy 2, it's $40. And that's a lot of money. However, I will say that Nintendo used to get so much shit from people saying they never brought their legacy games up to new modern consoles, which forced people to go emulate their games, and then Nintendo will come and like strike them down, you know, the Nintendo ninjas. So it's that cycle of like, if you bring your games to modern platforms, then people won't have to emulate them and you won't have to sue them anymore. And so here they are, they're bringing their games to modern platforms, but unfortunately it's too expensive. It's like, now why do you think that is? There's a couple of reasons. Is Nintendo just being greedy? I think partially, of course, because they're a mega corporation, they want to make money. However, there are other factors here. Like, they kept the Switch 2 price low in the West, like to sell in America, because of the tariffs and all that. They could have raised the price of the Switch 2. They brought that down. However, all the accessories and game software prices rose. So they said, here's the Switch 2 for cheaper, but then we have to raise the prices of the games and the accessories. So I think there is a bit of that. It's kind of that, you know, tariff situation that we have in the modern day, which sucks. But I think it's a mixture of Nintendo being greedy, and they can't really help it. They have to set those prices where they're at to make money. I think they don't really have much of a choice based on those kind of like trade rules that are happening around the world. So I think it's a little bit of both. I understand people being upset. And for the first time, I was wincing at some of the prices. Like, you can tell I'm a huge Nintendo fan. They really made it tough for people to enjoy what they were seeing and look forward to the games if they, you know, can't afford them, or it's like outlandish prices, right? A lot of the DLCs were just $20 when other companies might have made them $10 or free. So I understand that argument about Nintendo. Ultimately, what do you guys think about this Nintendo Direct? First and foremost, did you enjoy it? Was it a fun experience to watch? Did you like all the games that were announced? But also, on the flip side, how do you feel about the pricing? Do you understand like that Nintendo may not have a choice, or do you think They are really just trying to be greedy and take all your money. Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace.